What's up, everyone? What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Star Chasers, Girls Talk Ball. As you know, it's your girl Cravin. As always, I got my girl Star in the building. What's up? How you doing, Star?
What's up, Mickey? What's up, everybody in the chat? Glad to be here for another episode of Star Chasers, Girls Talk Ball. Really appreciate everybody in the chat. Shout out to Carl, Kelvin, Nisi, Jameson. I know there'll be more people definitely coming in soon, but really appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight per usual. This is gonna be a fire show. What's up, James? It's gonna be a fire show. We got a lot of good stuff queued up for y'all. So we hope y'all ready. But you know, when you come in, please like the video, please share the video, as well as please subscribe to both of our YouTube channels if you haven't already.
Yeah. Like Star said, hit the like button, hit the share button. Like she said, we know what week it is, y'all. Especially coming off, what we saw was a loss on Sunday, of course, to the Saints. Unexpected, definitely. Especially just kind of looking at some tweets, kind of following up leading up to the game, really to the season. Because facing the Browns, it was actually a worry for me that we were going to lose on the road. But kind of facing the Saints, I saw a stat out there that said that the Cowboys are actually 2-6, in 2023, including the playoffs, when the opponent scores first. So when I saw, 7-0 Saints, of course, that long pass down the field, I was like, that was really the first thing that popped in the back of my mind. I'm like, these boys can, can break that, hopefully break that, and that's one thing I tweeted out, shout out to Law Nation, who put out this post this week that said, of course, with them allowing the Saints, scoring 35 points in the first half, that was I think the first time, and I forget, whatever odd years that the Cowboys allowed 35 points in the first half. And I just say, it's just a shame that the Cowboys are always on the wrong side of breaking records, right?
We're usually always on the wrong side of these records.
Right.
Well, no, not always.
Yeah,
We had players make history last year, but
right.
Team records, you know what I'm saying? We're usually on the wrong side of that, unfortunately. So, with the game on Sunday, and we're gonna, get into some of that. I think the film reviews of the defensive issues stopping the run, I feel like that's been exhausted. I feel like all the content creators have kind of, broke down the film and explained, like what the hell happened. I think, it pretty much came down to poor effort, poor execution.
Yes.
That's what it really came down to. I feel like even on both sides of the ball, but specifically defensively, and a lot of people are like, we need to get new personnel, and I'm like, not really, guys. Like, do y'all even know who the Saints defensive tackles are?
Right.
Like, do y'all even know, like these teams around here, like you don't really have to have all world defensive tackles, because not everybody has all world defensive tackles, but still they ain't allowing opposing offenses to score on 6-7 straight drives. You understand what I'm saying?
That is ridiculous. Like, shout out to Miss Aisha Morrison, like she said, that is just not normal. It is not normal for a team to score.
Right, like that just doesn't happen, and that's happened touchdowns, and that's happened to us twice. So, it didn't even happen to the the worst of the worst, the Patriots. Teams with less talent than us, it's not happening to them. Right. Teams at the bottom of the barrel, bottom of the league, it's not happening to them. So, and some of these teams, like I said, you can't even name like who.
Right.
So, absolutely not. There's no excuse at all for what happened. And clearly, we can get into, because when I watched the film, I was like, Jordan Phillips Jordan
Like
Phillips.
I know he's up there. I know he's a vet that came in, but like I tweeted out like he was, and I was actually, I'm not gonna say inspired because I know about him being a vet and things, but he came in saying, "Hey, I want my linebackers to eat. I'm gonna take up these blocks up front. You know, I'm not worried about stats. I'm not, you know,
to get eaten. That's what he meant. I want him to get eaten because that's what you found. What Jordan, I don't know what was going on because I was like, there is no film in the past of Jordan Phillips getting pushed off the ball 10, 15 yards downfield. Like, it was consistent.
Just locked. He's locked on the line and just
10 yards. You getting pushed off the ball. Think about, guys, he was getting pushed off the ball to a first down. Like, now, granted, Osa was also not good.
Right.
He was not good. Right. And I feel like with Osa, it's gotta be just with Osa, like just technique, will, and want to. Because I'm like, Osa, we got you coming out of UCLA. You were an undersized DT, but we got you because you're a former wrestler. You know how to play leverage. You know how to get off blocks. Shout out to Boss Cowboy, who was yesterday showing 2022 film. Osa can stop the run. I don't know. Now, he's not the biggest guy, and sometimes he may get pushed out the gym, but how he was yesterday was just unacceptable. And then you go to, the DTs, Mozzie and Joseph. Mm-hmm. And the issue with Mozzie is, I don't know why everybody's on this hate train for Mozzie. I'm like, talking about he sucks. I'm like, it's week 2, guys, and he's a whole year behind in his development.
Right.
But whatever the hell, y'all, people just want to hate somebody. So it's like, okay, hate Mozzie. I don't care what it.
They're mad. Okay. They're forgetting about him coming off a shoulder surgery. A shoulder
surgery. Like, he's starting anew, and everybody ready to just throw him in the garbage. But I was like, if you listen to his coach, you listen to Zim, he was like,
and Coach Kanina.
And Sanita, they were like, Mozzie is winning his blocks. Like, go and look at the film. Everybody wants to replay that one clip where he literally got like bear hugged to the ground. I was like, I don't even know if that's legal, but whatever. Right. That one clip, Mozzie, he literally got like bear hugged to the freaking ground. I was like, okay, but anyway, Mozzie is not getting thrown to and fro like a freaking ragdoll. He's actually winning his blocks, but what he's not doing, he's not shedding his blocks.
Right.
And Zimmer said that too. He was like, Mozzie, he's winning, but he's not shedding. And that is a technique. You gotta win with your hands and all that type of stuff to shed the blocks.
Right. That was one of the knocks on my guy Fehoko. I mean, he just seemed to have no techniques. I know he played outside, but I mean, they were trying to move him back and forth, and it's just like, bro, like you said, you can't shed blocks. Like, you're not. And by the time next thing we know, you're on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Or the guy just has you pushed out to the other side of the field, and it's just like it's not effective.
Exactly. Like, it's just the players just weren't shedding blocks. And I know they can. I know they can shed blocks. I saw them shed blocks week 1. We saw them shedding blocks in the preseason. They know how to shed blocks. Yeah. I don't know what necessarily. It all just comes to will and want to. Maybe they weren't expecting the intense physicality of the Saints. I'm not sure what was going on. All I know is that at the end of the day, no team should be able to score touchdowns on you in the NFL 6 or 7 straight drives. I don't care I don't care about the talent.
Right.
I don't care about the talent. It didn't happen to the Panthers. It should not have happened to us. And now, granted, did the Panthers get blown out? Yeah, but I don't think they scored on the Panthers 6 straight drives. And maybe they did. That's possible. Yeah. Maybe they did. But again, we aren't the Panthers. And shout out to Okoye, because I saw his little video breakdown, and he's like, oh, the Saints did this to the Panthers. And I'm like, with all due respect, we are not the Panthers. Right. And I don't care what they do to other teams. I care what they do to us. And it wasn't acceptable.
Yeah.
It was, you just, as a grown man, you just cannot be getting tossed out of the gym like a rag doll. You just can't be, that just can't happen.
No, I definitely agree with you, sis. It's just, it was just, I mean, just even now, I'm still, to the point where you lost for words, especially coming off your last time you played at home. Literally, that was supposed to. I mean, I'm not gonna say that was supposed to be a game to kind of get our mind off the playoff win, but everyone was thinking it. It's just like I said, your first home opener. Even if you didn't have the playoff loss in the back of everyone's minds, it's your home opener. So there's a reason why you should have the fans pumped up. And that was another thing. Even me and my pops watching the game, that was the first thing I said. I'm like, yo, where are the fans at? They had the ball first. Why aren't they loud? Why aren't they cheering? First, even third down, they're not upping, making noise.
They say the fans. It's like the fans are not the best at home. That's what people always say. Now, when I went to the Cowboys game last year, to the Seahawks game, that was amazing. I mean, I was screaming, the whole time. I felt like the energy was incredible in there. Right. But I think it just really depends on the energy from home games. It just really depends. That's why people like Jay Tuck and Boss Cowboy was saying it's really not no home advantage, because the fans at home, they're just sometiming. Sometimes they're gonna be going crazy, and sometimes they're gonna be as flat as a pancake. You know what I'm saying? Where you can't get the energy that you need, like press forward. You know what I'm saying? But with the defense, it just, nobody really played well. The only person that you can say played well for the most part was Micah and D-Law. I think sometimes they may have done some hero ball things, but when you feel like your guys cannot step up, like eventually you're going to start doing some things to like try to make a play. But for the most part, they really were like trying to play their assignments and trying to keep contained and, trying to do all they can, to prevent like I said, we started off defensively on fire. Like you could really see it in the all 22 film. We was hitting, we was talking shit. We were,
and before it started going downhill, we even saw Micah and really the defense on the sideline getting together, saying, this is what we have to fix. This is how we,
that was
very last year's star.
That was very
Michael on the bench.
That was a very positive thing. Like we did see fire on the sideline. We did see them trying to make adjustments. Right. It's just at the end of the day, it's like we could not. It was just what it was a domino effect. Your defensive tackles could not, either they couldn't disengage in blocks, or they're just flat out getting shellacked and just getting slammed to the ground. When that happens, you're preventing your linebackers from being able to make plays. Now, granted, some of that stuff was also on the linebackers. Eric Kendricks, Damone Clark.
A lot of reaching from Kendricks' game. I was a little bit like, Kendrick
was bad this game. I don't know what was going on with him, but he was bad. Yeah. Damone was bad, overshown in his limited snaps. Everybody will talk about that open field tackle, but he was not good either.
Right. And let's not forget he's coming back. They're actually having, I don't know if he's on a strict pitch count, but he's coming back from injury, y'all. We don't want to rush him. That's really our main concern.
And he had another injury because he had that hip pointer injury.
Thank you. Exactly. So, and even before that, McCurley and even Overshown said that they were going to try to have him prepped later on, at least have him prepped and ready for later in the year, not necessarily from the beginning of this year. So I think that's why we saw early we saw Leofau listed ahead of him on the unofficial depth chart as it was. But I mean, granted, they're both getting, this time we saw Leofau before Overshown, but they're getting, I just think they're trying to ease him back slowly. So that's definitely one point you want to make.
They're trying to ease him back slowly, and because you want Overshown on the field. He's pretty much your will linebacker. He's the guy that you want roaming around, knocking people out. Maris had his struggles, but Maris also, what I love from Maris and what I love from Overshown, they may miss, but they play with their hair on fire. And they're always looking to make hits.
They keep that same energy, sis.
They're always exactly. No, even if they miss a play, the next play they're gonna come back and they gonna try to lay a hit.
When I see Maris's energy, even on special teams, I'm like, yo, they want to play. They want to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Maris' energy is insane. Like, and he played like that from the first snap to the end. And I'm like, that's what we need. Like, you gotta stay mentally locked in. You gotta stay with your hair on fire. That's why that's why I was a little bit worried about Kendricks, because I said, Kendricks, are you a hesitant Harry? I thought we got rid of that when we got rid of LBE.
Right.
But Kendrick was just really hesitating. He wasn't hitting holes. It was like he was choosing the wrong hole. Pause. Yep. I'm just like, what is going on with him? Right. I don't know what. I just have to believe with Kendrick that was a one-off. Yeah. Because I don't know what's going on with him. But hopefully he bounces back, because, bro, you was like the best linebacker week 1.
In week 1, exactly.
He had 2 sacks, an interception. He was all over the place. And then all of a sudden you go to the next week, he was playing so hesitant, playing like a shell of himself. I just don't know what was going on, but hopefully he can get back on the horse this week. With Damone, I need him and Overshown to kind of be splitting those snaps in the base package. And honestly, I wouldn't mind them elevating a Buddy Johnson to just kind of push Damone, because Damone, at some point, if you're going to be hesitant and continue to worry about your injury, we can't have you on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, and Buddy Johnson definitely has no problem stepping up and laying down and hitting.
No problem. So I was like, we got to get linebackers that are willing to come forward. Like I said, even if you miss, then miss big with your head on fire trying to make plays. Like,
right.
Hesitating and tackling people 2 to 3 feet, up 2 to 3 like, there were so many plays where it's like, Kendricks, why aren't you running to the ball? You're running downfield to make tackles downfield. Like, we can't have that. Like, we could not have hesitant linebackers. You got to have linebackers that are willing to come forward.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Sis. Before we get too further deep, and appreciate everybody coming through. K Faith, I think this is the first time we see you come through on our stream. One more Generation to Generation Cowboys and Sports Talk. I think this is the first time we've seen you on here. Everybody, please hit the like button, hit the share button. Appreciate everybody joining in.
I think this is my guy Lanier from Twitter, Generation to Generation Cowboys Sports Talk.
Oh, word?
Yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him. Let me read some of these comments. Y'all were saying some. He said,
because I got a lot of comments coming through.
Yeah, I'm like, there's so many comments. He said, I'm concerned that McCarthy does not understand Cowboys rival games. 49ers, Packers, Saints, Steelers. Our team is never up for these games. Our team looks flat. Detroit and Houston are developing. Yeah, I think what Mike McCarthy is a guy where the fire and stuff like that, the inspiration, he puts that on his team leaders. And I believe I got that from not Gerald McCoy, but there was somebody who was explaining, it wasn't Gerald McCoy, but it's one of Mike McCarthy's former players. And they were explaining I think it was a lot. When they no, it was Jay Tubb. No, it was Jay Tubb. I think his name was Will Blackman or something like that.
Yeah, he went to be a coach. I know you're talking about
something Blackman, but he was like with Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy is a neutral, like stoic figure. So he's not gonna do the. Now he can if he get real pissed, but for the most part, he's not the rah screaming in your face coach. Like, he expects the emotion to come from his players and his leaders. That's why they have the leadership council and all that type of stuff. Right. So I was glad to see that his leaders were communicating on Sunday. We didn't see people just sitting down moping around. We did see people like, let's get it going. You know, Dak, let's get it going.
Yeah, know? We know Dak, stays in communication with the guys on the sideline. So there's always that constant motivation. And not just BB mentioned it, but I think it just slipped my mind. Someone else, I think maybe Guyton. I think Dak spoke about having a relationship with Guyton, kind of mentoring Guyton along with, not just BB, him being a rookie, and him coming along with the O line, but Guyton as well. Let him know, because I think Guyton, after his week 1 play, he kind of spoke down on his performance. And he was like, I think I played, kind of, up to my expectation. And even Dak was like, no, I think he played great. He may not think that, but I think he played great, and I let him know that. So Dak not only maintains a communication with the center, of course, that's obvious, but
with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And we also said Micah as well.
So we definitely saw the leader step up. So we knew it wasn't that. I think I really just think this was a growing pains game. You know what I'm saying? When you have a team where you're starting pretty much 4 or 5 rookies, you're gonna have growing pains.
Right?
They were picked. Yeah. They picked on our young corner Carson. They picked on him a lot. They were just cracking to him and Diggs all day long, and you know what I'm saying. They were. Yeah. It was struggling in it. It was struggling for him to keep the contain and everything. He was struggling. He was struggling in the pass coverage. That's why many people didn't catch it, but they took him off the field for a while and put Jay Lou out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they asked Zimmer about that, and he was like, "Yeah, we just think he needed a break because he was getting targeted out there. Let's just be honest. Our young guys was getting targeted. I think there's play. Marshawn Needham was getting, pancaked. Then you got, Cooper, him and Guyton were occasionally not able to sustain blocks. Like
exactly.
It was a struggle for our young guys, even Brooks. I know Brooks is not technically a rookie, but this is his first time playing. It's like the young guys were struggling. Let's just say they were struggling.
Yeah, it was definitely unfortunate to see that slip from Brooks, and also that kind of that whiff block that kind of cost us, Brandon Cooks.
Brooks had a rough
touchdown.
Brooks had a really rough game. I would say that was a pretty bad game.
But
for him.
I don't want the nation to kind of turn on him. I mean, like
you
said,
it's like you see what we do, people, because people were so high on Brooks. Y'all was saying Tolbert was trash and he wasn't real, but we see Tolbert. I'm tired of it. Tolbert has secured wide receiver 3 because I'm like 2 games when Dak needed a clutch play. Tolbert made the play, even when they were underthrown balls.
Right.
Tolbert made the play, so I think we need to stop the bullshit.
Right.
And Tolbert is one of, if not our best wide receiving blocker. So I think we need to cool it with, we need to bring in this guy that got. Right. I mean, if you want to bring in a premium guy like a Deontay Johnson or Devontae Adams, sure. Yeah. But as far as what we currently got, Tolbert is wide receiver 3. Period.
Right.
And so with Brooks, but don't turn against Brooks because he had a bad game. Everybody has a freaking bad game. It's his first. It's not his first. It's his second NFL game, but he was playing a lot this week.
Yeah, and you can see he had snaps last year, but even last year he came in late in the season. He was only coming in at third and fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So he's not in those lights.
Exactly. When you have a young team, you got to have patience. Right. And it's like nobody wants patience. It's like everybody just wants
forgetting that star. Everyone is forgetting about the youth of our team all of a sudden. You know what I'm saying? Like for some reason they're forgetting that we got even younger in the offseason. We lost a lot of veterans, you guys. So now
we got really young, and it's like now y'all just want to get rid of them. Like I'm like, God damn,
y'all already ready to go to Florida. Like
it's that first effing game. Like, can we chill out? Like if it's week 5 and 6 and they still looking like this, then we gotta make some changes. But guys, it's the second game of the year. Like, let's calm it down. And I do want to take Carl's comment. He said, "Star, our players must play as physical as the coordinators want them to. In order to establish physicality, Zimmer looked heartbroken in the last game." Yeah, I mean. Yeah. I could tell from Zimmer's presser that he was pissed, but he was trying not to say it. And we clearly see today with them putting an injury on Jordan Phillips.
Right.
Zimmer is not effing around. Like,
at all.
It was...
For them, This many moves? I've never seen Cowboys making this many moves. Period. So then
it's so fast. Like they doing so fast. It's almost like Zimmer going there saying, "This is not working. Get right." Because they're moving so fast. Because it's like, dang. I mean, usually in Cowboys Nation, it takes us forever to make changes. But Zimmer said he made a change immediately. But it's like you have to do that stuff. You cannot allow somebody to perform like Jordan Phillips. There was one play that Jordan Phillips, during a play, the play was still active. Instead of going after Derek Carr, he's fighting a lineman. I'm like, what are you doing?
You're the only one in the area, and you're worried about the lineman who's already on the ground. It's not like he's coming at him or attacking him. He is literally on the ground, and you going in for your second, third lick. Like, bro, like, get the quarterback. And what made me more mad is you just see Derek Carr just lightly throwing the ball. It's like,
no one around. Like, the shit was crazy. Like, Zimmer had to make it. Zimmer had to make it. It wasn't a good look, and he had to make an example out of him because it's like, everybody had their struggles, but by far, big dog, you were the worst on the field, by far.
Yeah.
Like everybody else looked like they was at least trying. You looked like you wasn't even trying. You were getting pushed. Like I said, 10, 15 yards off the ball. We cannot have that. We cannot have that. Like, I don't. No.
Yeah, that's great. And actually, speaking of that, speaking of him being placed on IR, we actually did bring back. I mean, those who aren't aware, we did bring back Carlos Watkins.
Carlos Watkins.
Go, Carlos. The Commanders from Washington.
I think he was on the.
That's what I've seen. I think.
Yeah, I think he was.
I ain't mad. Look, welcome back. Welcome back.
I personally like. Carl Watkins. I love Carl. I wanted to re-sign Carl Watkins, but we ended up losing him in the free agency because the Cardinals gave him a big contract. But I'm like, listen, I like Carl Watkins. He was actually one of our best DTs when he was playing for us in 2022. Yeah. Now, how he looks now, I got no idea. But I know when we saw him last, he did play well for us. So I am excited to get Carlos Watkins back. But as far as we're going to have to, I don't know what they're going to do this week because Mozzie also, now they said Mozzie, he went out of practice, but he said he started having back spasms or something. So I don't know.
The last thing I saw was that he left practice early, so I was wondering.
He started having like back spasms. He said his back just started tightening up on him, so maybe they just decided to sit him. But we're looking a little bit thin at this DT position. Yeah. But I mean, regardless, bro, teams face injury, and you got to make it work. I don't know, but Zach said firmly, I'm going to fix it. Period. Yeah, so I don't know how he's gonna fix it, but he said he gonna fix it. So,
in his presser, there was a lot of I'm gonna fix it, or it's gonna be fixed. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. Like, it wouldn't even know. We're gonna try to do this. We're gonna.
He said it's gonna be better. We'll fix it. Like he was being very definitive.
Face,
I hope so. Now we're gonna try. No, he said I'm going to fix it. It will be fixed. That's what he said. He said it will be fixed. And I think with Zimmer it's a pride thing. You ain't never seen no Zimmer defense look like that.
Look like that at all. At all.
Like you never seen, I appreciate that, Tyrone, but it's like you never seen a Zimmer defense. Well, that's not true, because he said his first game when he became the defensive coordinator, he said the first game in 2000. Yeah, he did the pickle juice game. He said they got blown out just the same. And he said, you see what happened after, didn't you? So it's like, well, okay, Zimmer. We putting our trust and faith in you, big dog, because
that's really why I had no. I mean, I can say I didn't have any reservations, but I was kind of trying to save my final judgment for this game because I want to see how he adjusts. Right? I mean, that was one of the criticisms we had for Dan Quinn last season, where we didn't see, and that's and we actually saw that. I forget who tweeted about. I saw that after the game where I didn't think he made an adjustment either. We didn't see much adjustment with the safeties or anything like that, but we did see Zimmer switch to, I believe, a a 5-2, and which
Right.
which did kind of help, because
he was getting so tired of it, right? So
Yeah.
Zimmer he will make the adjustment, and I do think that we're going to see some changes in that with the safeties. I think he's going to probably start rotating them or something, because that was just unacceptable from Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker.
Oh my gosh.
You can't do that.
No.
You play the deep halves. There's no way anybody should get behind you.
That was just terrible, and for it to happen more than once. For it to happen more than once is crazy.
Like,
shout out to Rico Jones too in the building.
My guy Rico. Shout out to Rico. Keystone, that guy, Siaka, he's been really like popping up in my mind. Maybe we will go out and get him. I know people were down on him, but that's a former 3rd round pick out of Baylor. I don't know why he was cut. The Browns have a pretty deep defensive tackle room, but I don't know why he hasn't really been picked up. I don't know if he has injury or whatever, but the Cowboys definitely going to have to do something to get some more bodies, add to their practice squad, make a premium trade. I don't know, but you got to do something, because Zimmer's defense, you got to have those big guys in the middle, or it just won't work. We saw it. Like, if you don't have those guys that can sustain blocks and that can hold up in the middle.
With your schedule coming up, Star, like, for real, like, I mean, come on, like, we got the Giants coming up. Like, I don't know who the Singletary they have over there, but we got the Steelers who have Najee Harris. After that we have the Lions. Help me out, sis. Who's their running back over there?
Who?
The Lions.
Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, and Montgomery as well.
David Montgomery. Yeah.
And I think after that we have the bye week. But I mean, after that, 49ers. I mean, come on, y'all. Now,
the first half of our schedule is. I mean, our schedule is pretty brutal all year.
Yeah.
So we gonna have to fix it. Like, we cannot run away from getting the DTs that can actually just uphold and sustain freaking blocks.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to figure it out. I don't know how, but I'm like, we're gonna have to figure it out, because I mean, Sunday just can simply not happen again. And shout out to my guy Stephen White. Glad to see you.
Choctaw. Choctaw as well.
$100,000. I saw you too. Yeah, DC. What's up to just want to make sure I didn't leave anybody out, but
actually, Star, before we go too much farther, we're about halfway through, y'all. But I mean, like I said, we've been having a pretty bomb show, but
exactly. Appreciate that, sis. I am still doing my Stargazer sweepstakes. I'm really close. I got like 291 subscribers, so we only 9 subs away. 9 subs away.
Yes.
But I am still doing this sweepstakes, giving out college football 25 or Madden 25 or $75 gift card. So y'all be sure to follow the instructions there on the screen. All you gotta do is just subscribe to me, take a screenshot, send it to that email on the screen, and you get an entry. You can also get more entries if you donate $5 or more to my Cash App, but I am capping the entries at 5 per person. So just so everybody knows that, so it won't be too unbalanced. But yeah, y'all help me out. Like I said, I'm only nine subscribers away, and then after that, I'll be doing the random raffle, and I'll be announcing the winner, and then be able to contact whoever the winner is to give out the prize for sure.
Okay, Stephen White said he's gonna be at the game. Well, he said he's gonna be at the stadium for this game. Well, hey, bring all that energy you got, Stephen White, because we're gonna need
we need a lot of people are going to that game, so we need.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Please turn it up.
Yes, and Keystone said, Atlanta can run the ball. Ask Philly. That's another thing that I kind of wanted to make a point.
Atlanta is really good, but people don't know. Atlanta has one of the top offensive lines in the league. They kind of terrible at running at pass blocking, but they're amazing at run blocking. And this is their second year together. So, that's another thing I want to talk about. Thank you for saying that, Keystone, because that reminded me. We have to realize, guys, our offensive line has 2 new pivotal pieces. We added a new center and a new left tackle.
Right.
When y'all look at these other teams, they're able to run the ball. Because they have continuity, guys. Some of these groups been together. Like when you look at the Lions, some of these guys been together 2 to 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, y'all have to think about that. We gotta. What we're trying to remind you on here on Star Chasers Girls Talk Ball is that the team is young. The
Right.
team is new. Yes, we have some veterans, but for we have 4 to 5 rookies starting for. So we have to give it time to gel. We have to give our offensive line time to gel. We have to give our running backs time. Like, it's going to take us a while. We're not going to look like the Lions, because the Lions have the exact same roster and they just sprinkled in some rookies here and there. Like, we're not going to look like this and that team. Like, it takes a while to build the chemistry. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the Saints offensive line with Cesar Ruiz and Trevor Pennick, those are 2 to 3 year players. They've been playing 2 to 3 years. Like, the offensive line has to build the chemistry, and that only is going to come from more games, more reps. So we just have to be patient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%, Star. I mean, we even saw last year we couldn't even get the first 5 weeks of our starters. So these guys are coming off that chemistry from last season, and then like you said, I mean that went right away, bringing in 2 more, like you said, pivotal positions on the O line this year. So like you said, it's just gonna take time. That's actually one of the weaknesses of the Ravens. Coming into this week, just to make the transition. Right. The Ravens have, I think they actually drafted a new tackle, I think in the second round this year. So they do have a better on that side, Makari, but they, for whatever reason, they're doing some of this kind of like rotation.
They're like rotating. I don't know why they're doing that, but yeah, like when you have New York,
the run game, the right guard as well. I think exactly. Like just speaking to your point about the rotation with the O line and just building that continuity, you see these problems amongst lines who don't have that much time together.
Exactly, guys. So this is new. We just played our second game together.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be perfect.
James Simmons, what's up? How you doing?
What's up, James? I don't know why anybody would think that our team was going to look all world. Right. When we're playing a lot of young guys. We got some second year players, but they didn't play last year.
Yeah.
Hardly. So it's going to take some time, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with each game, we will continue to get better and better, because you can only get better if you have more reps. That's it. So we the key word is patience. We do need to be patient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and kind of like the last kind of point I want to make about this past weekend is, what I'm taking from it is, we saw last year with the unfortunately the playoff loss, but what happened before that, Cowboys Nation? We saw the Philadelphia Eagles just happened to lose, and we just happened to get, quote unquote, the number 1 spot, right? What we saw again this weekend, the Eagles could have easily went 2-0, right? We could have easily been chasing Philly, y'all, from week 2 on. So for it to be evened out, for the score to be evened out in the division, number 1, and not just the division, take a look around the league, y'all. The Chiefs damn near lost. You know what I'm saying? We saw the Lions lose to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, the 49ers lost. Like, everybody lost.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
everybody lost. And all of these backup, all of these backup quarterbacks is looking better than the elite quarterbacks right now. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly. NFL is just week to week. We have to remember that. Shout out to Cowboys Fan Talk, aka Roma. He tweeted out. He said the NFL is week to week. You never know what to expect. So, and like Patrick and OC Walker said, don't talk mess until your team plays. You know what I'm saying? Let the week kind of play out. You know what I'm saying? But just definitely happy for the Cowboys for the field to be kind of evened up a little bit, sis.
Exactly. It's week to week. So hopefully this week we can get a balanced game, and we can actually play a full 4 quarters, because we've yet to have a game like that. So
yes. And McCarthy actually he may mention that in his, I was saying that McCarthy actually mentioned that in his presser today, that they haven't yet played 4 full quarters of meaningful football.
Right. So it's like, it's kind of hard to evaluate. But all I know is this team, like the intensity, like we played with versus the Browns, like we played versus the 49ers in 2022, we're going to truly have to turn the shit up. Like, turn it up. I want to see fights. I don't care what nobody say. I want to see fights before the game. Like, keep
that energy. Yes, have that energy all throughout the year, not just playoffs.
I need to see anger. I need to see anger. And I need to see will and want to, and I need to see hits and talking shit early and often. I don't care, but like we need to. This is our time, guys. You can't have 2 blowouts in a row.
Right. No, our schedule calls for it, Star. Our schedule calls for these guys to be angry and going into these games.
Exactly. Like y'all need to be very. The nice guy shtick is over. It's time to get angry. It's time to get mad. But anyway, I did want to kind of show, because I do think the run game is kind of being blown out of proportion. Number one, I want to read these amount of carries off, because to let y'all know how much our running backs ran on Sunday. I'm like, you can't even evaluate the run game with how few carries these guys had. But yeah, y'all talking about bring down Cook, get this guy. I'm like, can y'all calm down?
Right. Didn't I think Rico led the running back room and he only had 7 carries, right? So how can we really evaluate that? Listen,
Rico 7 carries. Zeke 6 carries. Deuce 4 carries. Bruh. And that's why I love these people bringing up rushing yards over expected. All that stuff is nonsense anyway. I said it on my channel. But guys, you're comparing these guys who getting a couple carries to guys who are getting 14, 15, 18, 20, 25, 30 carries. Like, be for real, bro. Like, these guys can't get in a we could not get in a running game rhythm on Sunday because the game that was at hand. Again, these guys only got, none of them even hit double-digit carries. So how are you, please tell me how the stats are properly evaluate these guys. Like, you gotta be for real. But I did break down just the first half. It wasn't really that many runs in the second half because we was down significantly, so we was passing the ball. But I did want to kind of like go through the running game and look at, and y'all could just tell me, what y'all see. I of course have my notes here because I broke it down, but I did want to kind of share. Let me share this with y'all. Hold on.
All right, y'all. While she brings that up, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button. Whether if you listen on Twitter, give us a retweet, give us a share. We're still, like I said, still trying to grow our platform. Start trying to get to that 300. All right, here we go. Did it come up? Oh, my bad.
Right. You got it?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So we're just gonna go through the runs. First run is with Rico. And, we just going to clearly be able to identify, what went wrong in this run. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it the running back? Was it the offensive line? Was it a combination of the offensive line and the running back? And I think, from this film review, we'll kind of see what the issue truly was, once it's summed up at the end. It ain't that many runs. It's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's only 13 runs to go through, so it ain't that much. So it's not going to take that long. Right. And then we can kind of get into, like, we'll end the show talking about the Ravens, and how we can attack them. But anyway, so here's our first run of the game coming up. Hold on, let me see if I can get. I'm trying to see if I can get the, I think if I leave it alone, it should go away. There we go. So this is our first run with Rico. And so I want to rewind that again because you can get this view. This is a simple outside zone run. Rico cuts it back. Main issue I identified. Y'all gotta let me know, and Mickey, let me know what they're saying in the comments because I'm kind of running it. But
I got you.
To me, Rico ended up pulling up 6 yards on this run. But the main issue, and I'm gonna rewind it. But the main issue with this run, this is a simple outside zone run. So when you talk about scheme and stuff, this is simple stuff. Y'all see Luke. I gotta rewind that. Y'all see Luke getting a push at the end? He got his extra push. So to me, what was the issue here? You got Demario Davis, the middle linebacker, going unblocked. If you don't get hands on the middle linebacker, look at that. Nobody got to him.
Even there, right?
Nobody got to him on the second level, and that was Tyler Guyton. So when I say the rookies had growing pains, because see, Tyler was supposed to get his hands on him. Mm-hmm. He instead turns around trying to block 96 for some reason. I don't know why he was doing that, but
yep. Even Kim, shout out to Kim Berry in the chat. He said Rico cut it back too quick. He should have trusted it.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So y'all tell me what y'all see, because just trying to. Rico said that too. He said I cut it back. You know what? That's a good point. Let's go back and look at this. Let me look at the aerial view. See if Rico could have just kept following his blocks to the outside. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Damn. Let's look.
And he does a lot. And I saw that in week 1. Rico, and it's no slight to him, but he does a lot of dancing. Like if he could just power up. Remember, I mentioned that last week. Or if he just shoot the gap, bro, just go. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like just go.
Dancing,
stop all the dancing. Stop you cutting it back. He said that too. Y'all go watch Rico's interview because he was like, "Yeah, I cut it back too soon." But look at this. Look at this. Look at the blocks. All these blocks front side.
Oh,
wow.
A straight wall.
Damn, I missed that. Who said that in the chat?
Let me see. Kim Berry said, "Yeah, Rico cut it back too quick. You should have trusted it."
Yeah, Kim Berry. Like, look at that. That is if crazy. Rico literally just follows his blocks outside, there's no one there.
Right. Because I don't know who I don't know what. I think that's Cooks out there. Even he had his block up there up top. So
Cooks got it blocked up. It's like big dog. You cut it inside. There's no one there. It said you cut it inside, big dog, and you ran right into the middle linebacker. Like, bro, the point of outside zone, bro, is to capture the edge. Mm-hmm. Bro, that's a touchdown. Like, if that ain't a touchdown, I don't know. I mean, at least he would have got. I mean, it would have been a huge game.
Yeah, no, at least 15, 20 yards, because all you do is get the safety up top.
Exactly. That would have been a huge game. So it's like I don't really want to hear about scheme because there's nothing wrong with this scheme. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a simple outside zone that was blocked up. And granted, he still got 6 yards off of that, but he could have got way more. He could have got way more.
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. And shout out to Rico Jones. You said fire content. Yeah. Start breaking it down, y'all. Keep an eye on this, y'all. Hope we gotta do this week to week. Even if he just do like a segment, like break it down some.
Been trying to do it with y'all. I'm gonna gotta click it through.
Smoke one for you says this is the deuce outside run play in my eye. Star. What do you think about that, sis? Because I mean, we talk about Rico. Like you said, Rico. Oh, I was talking about Rico meeting the safety up top. Yeah, that was deuce. Or something like that. Yeah.
This is a play, and guess what? Deuce does the exact same thing, and people didn't like this. People were I like this concept. I think some people were trying to, what were y'all trying to do with Deuce and Turpin? I'm like, it's speed on speed.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And you could tell. I think this play, I said, with the motion. You're going to see we wiped Demario Davis completely out the play because he ends up following Turpin.
I was going to say, someone tried to say Tolbert wasn't a good blocker. I'm like, hold him now. Tober is our best blocker. Yes.
He's
better blocker than CD.
This was another run. All Deuce had to do was bounce it on the outside.
Wow.
Look at this. I'm going to pause it. Pause. Now look at that. It's no one out there, Deuce. So all you had to do was just go capture the edge around T Steele.
He can easily get around Steele.
Right, exactly. Deuce is fast enough. He easily can get around there. But Deuce ends up doing what? Cuts it inside and bam.
Yeah. Ran right into it. That's
exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly. It's like just cut it outside, Deuce. And Terrence Steele had it blocked up. Mm-hmm. Terrence Steele had it blocked up. All Deuce had to do was run on the outside of Terrence Steele's hip. It's off to the races. This is another play that's just, but I like that concept. So that's a way,
Yeah.
when I talked about on Twitter about how the concept is creative, that is a creative concept because it's a way to get the
Yeah.
teams off balance. You know what I'm saying? When you're
Yeah.
using motion and stuff like that.
And
But
they
anyway,
get, I'm gonna cut you off. And it gets Deuce involved, and it gets him. I mean, that's one. That was really what made him play with Turpin. I mean, we were mad about Turpin dropping the balls, but I mean, he had to get worked into the game. So we got to work Deuce in there. Even if he does get special team, that's not enough to get up to game speed. We got to get him involved on offense.
Exactly. And so here's another run. I think this is a Rico counter. I said, what the F is Brevin Span 4 doing? I don't know what Brevin Span 4 is doing on this play.
Yeah, he looking at that. Like,
look at Brevin Span 4, dog. He just runs past Chase Young. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my God, yeah.
I was like, was he supposed to be trying to like run a route? I'm not sure what he's doing here.
I guess he was trying to block. No, yeah, he didn't know.
He's just running into the abyss of nowhere. Like,
not the abyss, bro.
Who was your target here, dog?
Yeah, I don't know.
And so we'll see what this issue is. Tyler Smith couldn't get off the duo block. I said to stop the linebacker. Look at Tyler Smith. You see how he couldn't get to 5.
Oh yeah. Let me see one more time.
See, he's on 90. You got to get off the 5.
Oh,
he didn't have
yeah.
He didn't have that
right by him. Yeah.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? This type of stuff is just execution and awareness. This don't have nothing really to do with scheme.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you're just not having the awareness.
Yeah.
To get off blocks and get off field. And y'all see this happen to us consistently because it's like, okay, you got to get off. You got to have that heads up. Because if he gets off there, and I think I can pause it. I think if Tyler Smith gets off his block, let me see if I can pause it. But if Tyler Smith gets off his block here,
even just reaching the handout, sis.
Yeah,
like,
just a handout.
Yeah.
Look at that gap. Look at that gap.
Yep.
Y'all see how I can pause it here so y'all can see it. There's a ginormous running lane right here. But when Smith can't get off of his block, you have Tyler Guyton here, who is blocking out Demario Davis.
Yeah.
All Tyler Smith really had to do was just get a hand on 5, and that would have been.
And then Brevin picked up Chase, like, bro, because the wide receiver down here got number 1. He got Alontae.
Exactly.
So, wow.
If Brevin picks up Chase, Tyler Smith gets off his block to get to 5. Rico, he only got 2 yards here. He probably gets 5, 6, 7, 8 yards here. Like, look at this. Yeah. So that's the issue there.
Yeah. And Smoke 140 says, Star, have you noticed most of these runs are straight to the middle? Kamara ran outside the whole time. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be the same situation with Henry coming up here too. They're trying to do some outside scheme with him. You know, I mean, he used to do inside runs, but I mean, we're gonna get used to that. I mean, the Saints were running sideline to sideline.
The thing is, guys, and I want to explain, when it comes to outside zone runs, when you have fast linebackers like Demario Davis and the other guy is Pete Warner, and then they also got Willie Gay. Willie Gay runs a 4-4.
Yeah, true.
When you have 5 fast linebackers like that, you really want to run at those guys. You don't really want to You don't really want to run away from those guys because they have that crazy speed to get sideline to sideline on you. So you really want to run at Demario Davis where you can get a hand on him and knock him off his spot. But I do think there are some outside zone concepts. Like, we're really good at the pin and pull, and there's some clips in there of that where I think we do need to run that more. We do need to run that more. And we were also trying to attack the edges through our jet sweeps and stuff.
Yeah.
The Saints just weren't having none of it. Like, the Saints weren't having any of it. But anyway, let me get to the next play. We'll go to 9. So the next run, not till 9:12. Sorry, I'm shifting. Okay, so here's another run. This is Rico. And we're gonna see what the issue is here. So Rico ends up getting 3 yards here, but let's look at what the issue was. Y'all saw what the issue was? I'm gonna rewind it. Who doesn't get to their block? Y'all saw it? Who didn't get to their block?
It kind of skips. Let me see.
Y'all see that? That's Guyton. Because you see here, Zach Martin gets to the second level. Wow. Yeah. You see here, Zach Martin ends up getting to the second level. BB ends up duo blocking with Smith. Oh, no, that's not true. Sorry, it's hard. I gotta rewind it because you gotta rewind it like 100 times. But
yeah, it kind of like jumps.
Is it jumping?
No, it's smooth now. No, I think it was Guyton who missed his 90. It was like a 96 after tackle.
Yeah, it's definitely Guyton because Guyton didn't come off and get to that linebacker 55.
Yeah.
Because Smith pulls around, he blocks his guy. Cooper Beebe gets his guy. Zach Martin gets his guy. Yeah, if Tyler Guyton could have gotten his guy, then because let me see if I can pause it. So we look here.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so it's 56 or 55 that makes the play. Cooper Beebe's here on 93. Zach Martin is going to get down to 20.
Mm-hmm.
So you see this running lanes. Tyler Smith's going to take on 90. Zach Martin's going to come down to 20. It was Cooper Beebe's on his guy 93. It was Tyler's job to get down on 55, which is Demario Davis, but he couldn't get there in time. Because he couldn't get there in time, Demario Davis is able to make the play.
Yeah, shout out to JC Cowboys Network in the building. What's up, fam? How you doing? Appreciate you.
What's up, JC? Glad to see you. So these are the issues, and I'll rewind that play again. But like, this is the type of stuff. This is simply you're not executing the plays well.
Right. And I appreciate you. I don't mean to cut you off, but I appreciate you doing this because, like you say, we hear a lot of stuff during the week. You hear from other, other creators, other guys who do media. So, talk about is this, is that. But when you actually get a look at the film and like Star here is doing, breaking it down. Like we see, it's not always the scheme. It's not necessarily always the scheme,
exactly.
Or not even necessarily always the personnel. It's just guys missing their blocks.
Right, guys just simply missing their blocks. Like if Tyler Guyton just gets to 55, like bruh. You have what you need. So this is what I'm talking about. And shout out to the people who did the film reviews, but some of them, I'm not gonna say names. I think some of them were pretty disingenuous because they weren't showing all of the runs. They were just showing a couple runs. Some of them were some people were showing runs in the second half. I'm like, I don't even know why you're showing runs in the second half, but whatever. I'm not gonna call people out because I love all my Cowboys brothers and sisters, so I ain't gonna talk shit about people. I'm just saying some of the film reviews wasn't real good, and I watched almost all of them. So, I just think it was singling out stuff, and not showing the full picture.
Right.
But anyway, so that's why I'm trying to break down and tell y'all, like, yeah. Scheme wise, you could be more creative, but with the run game, you can only do so much window dressing. The concepts are the same. You know what I'm saying? And they did add a creative concept with that Deuce and Turpin in the backfield. That's a creative concept where they're trying to throw people off. Mm-hmm. And it did work. Like I said, it wiped Demario Davis out of the play. So it was working. You know what I'm saying? It just, you have to execute. Like it's no way around it. Okay, here's a Deuce counter with Hunter Lee blocking. Let's see what happens. So this was a good run from Deuce. Deuce ends up getting 4 yards here. And we can see. So you see Deuce was just able to cut back, you know what I'm saying? That was a good run from Deuce, you know what I'm saying? And hold on, I want to go back to the aerial view real fast. That's just a punt return, but I want it to be clear. Okay.
Shout out to Confident Cowboys fan in the chat. What's up, fam?
Yeah, this was just a counterplay. And see, in that time, that was good from Deuce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Counter is where you lead the whole defense to one area, but you really cut back and go off the hip of the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a run. See, that's a run where I would like to have seen Deuce continue to stay in the game. But guess what they got in the backfield now? Turpin. You see what I'm saying? Like, they weren't allowing the guys to get a flow at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you're not allowing the guys to get a flow. And I actually like these counter runs. You know what I'm saying? That they ran. I'll let it run one more time. Especially with Hunter Lupke, in there. And that was a face mask, so that should have been like 10 more yards.
Yeah, shout out to the face mask the refs didn't pick up on Rico.
Exactly, and you see how hard it is. For them for people to tackle Deuce because he's so small.
Yep.
But here's the other run. This is with Zeke. This is Zeke's first run. Zeke had to make something out of nothing. He only got 1 yard.
I was gonna say, bro, and it looked like, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna watch it again, but it looked like if he would just kept following Lipke, he might have been able to get through Brevin and Lipke.
Yeah. Let me see where Lipke's at. Yeah, it was kind of all jumbled up. Yeah. I forgot who did I put this on. Oh, Zach Martin. I said Zach Martin misses his block, but everybody just struggled on this run. You see how Zach Martin missed it?
From the beginning, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's actually a step. He's like a step further
Zach
out.
Martin.
Yeah.
Caught Zach Martin in 4K. Yeah, he missed it.
Yeah.
But you can see everybody was pretty much jumbled up on that play. So it's like, Zach Martin, but also everybody, you just couldn't get no good push here.
Yeah.
So you see, that's the type of stuff what I'm saying. Like, it's just not well executed. But then here's another run from Zeke.
That was Tyler, bro. You gotta hold that. Yeah, you gotta hold that.
Who did I say? Yep, this is Tyler Guyton.
Yeah, like
Tyler had a rough day at the office in the run game, dog. He had a rough day. We gotta rewind that. Yeah, he just didn't get to Chase Young.
Honestly, I didn't think Chase Young would really be I ain't gonna say he wasn't gonna be a problem for us, but
Chase Young was a problem in the run game, no doubt.
Okay, yeah, I see. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, see, that was supposed to. Yeah. We'll watch it again, but you gotta get to your blocks. You know what I'm saying? So when Zeke, I think, ended up only getting like a couple yards. Dang, who was that? Was that Hunter Lupke? Or who was that to like manhandle somebody to the ground? No, I think that was Zach Martin. Yeah, that's Zach Martin. Yeah, you could just see those guys.
Yeah. Yep.
These guys just weren't blocked. Like, we just weren't able to get. Oh, I remember this play. That's what it was. You see, the counter stopped working. Let's go back and look at it, because you see how you'll see how Demario Davis, he just goes straight to the contain because he knew it was a counter.
Oh, he did. He went right to the left.
And he knocked Zeke straight out.
Yeah.
So you can see this type of stuff. Like, the counter, that was just a blown up counter. Like, it was like, you're not fooling anybody. Because counters only work if you can cause the linebackers to flow to the other side. Mm-hmm. And Demario Davis just didn't get fooled. He literally went straight out to the cutback because he knew that's what it was. He knew it was a counter.
Yeah.
But anyway, we only got a couple of more runs left, guys. I mean, it's a lot of runs. We ain't gonna be able to go through all of these runs. But I'm gonna kind of skip around, see if I can. Next run is at 15-11. Oh, sorry, I messed that up. This is another run with Deuce. He only gets 2 yards. I think this was one where Zach Martin couldn't sustain blocks. You see how Zach Martin?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when I say everybody was struggling, was struggling. I don't think this is already 8:19. It's like, I can't go through this whole thing. But This was a run that it should have. If Zach's able to sustain his blocks, I'm gonna try to pause it. Bam. You see this running lane, and you're gonna see Hunter Lupi. See that?
Yeah, he already been pushed back.
Yeah, the thing is, if Zach's able to, instead of getting pushed back by 93, if Zach's able to push him out of the way, you'll have Deuces getting 5, 6, 7 yards here.
Yeah, because Lippy had Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
You see it's a huge hole, but Zach can't sustain his blocks here. So, gets tackled. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we saying. So, anyway, I think that's good enough. I showed y'all a lot of... Oh, I do want to show y'all. Okay, here it comes. This was one of our best runs of the day blocked up. And so I did want to show this with... And this is just a simple... This is literally just a simple freaking halfback dive. And look how Zeke gets upfield. I was like, we need to do this versus the Ravens. But yeah, let me play it. You see that? This is what we need to do to the Ravens all game long.
That was a whole game. Yeah.
Right. Run straight at him. This was probably the best block. See that? The best. And you see, this is why y'all always hating on Zeke. But y'all see, Zeke was patient. That's why he got that big game. He pauses up. Huge hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff we got to do.
Yeah.
We need to run straight at these guys. We need to run straight at their throats. That's just a simple toss play. Zeke gets a first down. But I do want to show these pin and pulls. So I'm going to go to the end. Sorry, guys. I'm going to skip. Let me just... Because I want to show y'all these pin runs to show that we need to get back to that. 22. I think I passed it. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, that's not right. What? Oh, because 2020. Oh, are we still live?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't hear the background music. I was like,
I think the music cut off.
Yeah, the music cut off, but it's all right. Let me see. 22 17. Here we go. Okay. Y'all gonna see this is a pin and pull, and somebody said we need to attack the edges. This is what we need to do more of here. Oh, that wasn't it. That was okay. I think it's after this one. Yeah, I think it's after this one. Yeah. I think this is pin and pull or crack toss or whatever the hell. I don't know. After this play. Yeah, our end rounds and jet sweeps just was not working at all, bro. Okay, but yeah. Here's the play I want. See this? You see that? This is what we need. Y'all see how this is one of the strengths and what we need to start running more, because when we have our big guys, they can move.
Yeah, because they
go see steal. That? Y'all see Terry? Y'all see Steele?
And he has no problem laying out a dude. He did that same move in the Carolina game last year. Like, he just laid a dude out. This is what
you want. Cooper BB, Terrence Steele running at you full speed. This is what you want to see. So that's definitely something that I want to see.
And Lippy right up front too. Well, actually, I think he was on the sideline, but I think in the Carolina game last year I was referring to, I think it was Lippy out there having the block for Pollard.
Right, so. Exactly. Like, this is what we want to see. I want to replay that again, but this is the type of runs I would want to see. You know, this upcoming week, because this is one of our strengths.
Yeah, because look, even CD, well, he kind of chipped a little bit, but CD picked up blocked a little bit too.
Exactly. This is a run we can do. But anyway,
yeah, I like that.
Thank y'all for coming to my film session. I'm like,
yeah, no, that was fire. We definitely, because I'm shooting. That's for me too. So I'm looking here like, shoot, for me too, because that also teaches me also, like I said, not instead of listening to what I hear throughout the week, actually visually looking closely at it. Because usually, when I rewatch the games, I listen to the broadcast feed so I can get like a better knowledge of the players, who's playing, the names, the kind of history of the team. But you actually, like you said, get an up close look at the film and actually see that it's not always the scheme being trash.
It's not the scheme, like it's literally the execution. These guys have to execute better. And I hear you, Smoke, one for you. Yeah. RTEs kind of struggle. Our tight ends kind of struggle, especially our young ones like Brevis Fanford struggles.
Yeah,
Luke can also sometimes be inconsistent.
Yeah, and no offense to Jake, but Jake Ferguson, he got to step up in blocking too. I think it was more than Jake. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people don't talk about it, but
they don't talk about it.
That's one thing. I thought I was the only one. That's one thing Jake got to step up in. He has to step up in blocking.
And that's one thing that I want to say too as well. With our tight ends, the one thing that I will knock about the running scheme is the tight ends saying, we're gonna pull the tight end, or we're gonna make these tight ends, block guards and block defensive tackles and edges. I don't think that it's a mismatch, and I feel like we need to kind of root that out of our playbook. That's what we need to root out of our scheme, because you don't have the tight ends.
Right.
Yeah, we were just doing some film on the running game just to look at where I was trying to show that the issue with the running game really is one, there wasn't enough attempts, but two, also it's just execution. The guys were not. We saw it. Y'all saw it here. Oh, any given play, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Zach Martin.
Right.
The only people that I did not specifically put something on was BB. There was a couple of runs where BB kind of struggled to sustain, but I'm like, he wasn't the main cause of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when it came to the run game, if it wasn't Guyton messing up, it was Tyler Smith. If it wasn't Tyler Smith, it was Zach Martin. If it wasn't Zach Martin, it's our tight ends not blocking. They don't know who to hit.
Still had a rough game this go around too. I gave him flowers
still had a rough game. I didn't see much on him in the run game, but when it came to pass blocking, he definitely had a rough game. So to me, I'm gonna just have to say that this game was a one-off, and our players was just at home. I don't know where they was at, but they wasn't on the field, because it was just constant mental errors. It was constant. The scheme is not hard. We're not asking them to do any crazy stuff.
Right.
Oh shoot! I didn't show that one block. I didn't show it, but I wanted to. I'm not gonna pull it up. But there was a play where we pulled Tyler Smith and Tyler Guyton, and I think we need to do way more of that. Where we
really? Okay.
pull Tyler Guyton and Tyler Smith to be the lead blockers.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to do way more of that. Now, this came like right before the second half. So if y'all look at the film, go to the end of the second quarter. But I think, last year we were pulling our guards a lot, but we seem to not be doing that as much this year. But I think we have the personnel for it this year. So I do think that we should kind of try to get a little bit back to that. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust the running game going forward. But if anybody's telling you we have the worst running backs in the league and blah, 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 guys, there's no true way to evaluate the running backs when these guys they've barely gotten any attempts.
Right.
Like, both games that we've played have been blowouts, so we need to have a few normal games before we can say, oh, this is trash. And again, our offensive line has to build the continuity. Our running backs, they have to be more patient in following their blocks. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see if we can get better execution this week. Hopefully, they're handling it at practice. But anyway, sis, let's go ahead and end it with the Ravens, because we kind of giving y'all a long show today, but maybe we can get it wrapped up in 15 minutes or so. But go ahead.
Of course. I mean, we can just definitely just go over I just had, like I said, I went back and kind of watched the Raiders versus Ravens game. I didn't get a chance to fully rewatch the Chiefs versus Ravens, but just some of the things I kind of noticed. I told Star even before we hopped on here, I know we're talking about trying to get the run game, going. We definitely do have to do that. I mean, week two, we only have 2 touchdowns as an offense, in total. But
yeah,
I think we only have maybe
crazy.
I know, and I think just over 100 yards between Zeke and Rico, I believe.
And Rico, it hasn't been been great. That's all I'll
Yeah,
say.
but I think and hopefully not as a shock, to too much of Cowboys Nation. But I think in this particular game, hopefully I don't, get side eyed by too many creators or fans or anything like that. But I think we could, beat the Ravens by. I think we can kind of dot up their secondary. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is that in the Raiders game, personally, I saw Gardner Minshew, who I tweeted out. In the offseason, he be fighting for a job, but that's one thing Gardner Minshew is going to do is keep a job. And we know they have a Devontae Adams over there, and I was telling Star that whether it was they weren't necessarily all big plays. You know what I'm saying? They had to go 15, 20 yards down the field. We can even use that soft cushion in the middle in between the D line and the linebackers, because that's really where a lot of their guys kind of step up, right? There a lot of their linebackers like Roquan Smith. They also have Trenton Simpson, I believe, is the other linebacker's name, who's pretty decent in coverage. He kind of locks guys up, likes to cover the tight end. But I think in that kind of that soft cushion area in the middle, we can kind of do some dump offs, maybe to Brevin Spanford to kind of get his confidence up. We know Schoonmaker is known for that play going out to the flats, right? And I think we kind of eat him up.
And shout out to Schoon. We didn't even talk about Schoon, but
exactly, sis. Yes, shout out to Schoonmaker.
He stepped up. I don't care what nobody say. He stepped up in a major way this game.
Absolutely.
He was targeted 6 times and he caught all 6 balls.
Exactly. And at the same time, so I think I see we talk about his confidence, right? I mean,
that confidence is
I think he had a one-hander. Star.
One-hander. Okay, second drive, Dak went to him on the 2 back-to-back drives.
Exactly.
So
in that moment, I was the Shaq. I was the Shaq meme. You're getting with your game, sir. You know what I'm saying? Okay,
now you're getting a little bit excited because you're like, if Scoot is coming along and then we add him with Fergie,
I'm telling you. Because this team we got coming up, y'all, not to jump too much around with the Ravens, but they got 2 tight ends over there who, granted, Lamar Jackson, for whatever reason, isn't hitting up Andrews as much as they were before last season, but I know he's coming back from injury as well. But if they ever, and I think if there was ever a game that they would get both their tight ends involved, I think it would be against the Cowboys, because we see them, we saw Andrews kind of get more involved last week in the I would say in the second half. For some reason he started targeting him more, maybe because he knows that Andrews is kind of unreliable. And hopefully for our sake, he doesn't go to him too much. But I think just because they're playing the Cowboys, I think we do see a little bit more of Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. For some reason, he likes to go to Isaiah Likely on the last play of the game.
He loves Isaiah Likely.
Yeah.
And see, with those tight ends, this is a game where you need to get Wanye on the field. You need to get Izzy Mukwambu on the field. You need to get Marquise Bell on the field.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker covering Isaiah Likely, covering Mark Andrews. You sure don't want Jordan Lewis. I love Jordan Lewis, but you're 2 feet tall. We cannot have you covering those guys. It's just a bad matchup, period.
Right. No, absolutely. And not just talking about the tight ends, but just kind of moving to the receivers. They have speedy guys like Zay Flowers, and not all speedy guys, but they also have I think his first name Rashad Bateman. I know his last name is Bateman.
They have Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers.
Also have an Aguilar, who is a veteran, but I know he's probably more so names. But I'm saying, but these are guys that you have on their team, and they're definitely targets on their team. So we just, not saying they're exactly like the Saints, but they do have a plethora of guys that they can go to at any moment. So like you mentioned,
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like you said, like with the variety, having a different line of safeties out there. Having those young guys out there who can deal with the speed, who can deal with
who can keep up,
who can deal with those top heavy with tight ends. That's what we're going to need.
Right. It's like, I'm sorry, I love Jay, and I know we get encouraged by Jordan Lewis because he did do a good job against Njoku, but I don't care. Yeah. It's still a bad matchup. We saw what Taysom Hill was doing to him. He can't cover him. And it's not because Jordan Lewis sucks. It's because it's a bad matchup. He is a little short nickel back corner.
Right.
So I don't care how big he plays or whatever the hell. Like, you're not covering Taysom Hill, Mark Andrews, and Isaiah Likely consistently. You're just not. It's a bad matchup. Exactly. So I really hope I don't see Zimmer doing that dumb stuff again, because that's what Dan Quinn used to do, and he used to piss me off. Because I'm like, why is Jordan Lewis on Dallas Goedert?
Right.
When you have taller, more athletic people on the bench. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. And just as far as Yeah. Well, before we move into their defense, I'll talk a little bit, like you were just mentioning about Zimmer and them making some mistakes. I'm going to talk about as far as mistakes. I think it's kind of working. Let me get this down real quick. I think it's going to kind of work in our favor as far as Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh. I mean, we see them, just talking about their play calling. I kind of saw in the first 2 weeks for some reason, Harbaugh makes some crazy calls. I mean, I understand the challenges he had to make in the game. I understand maybe he was under pressure of the fans, but some of the calls that he makes, and sometimes in third and long situations, or even just maybe some third and medium situations, they do like to go to Justice Hill. They like to go to Derrick Henry, but sometimes the play calling can just be kind of iffy at times, and especially like I said, if they're in third and long,
Mm.
if we have them in their own territory. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they make some kind of crazy calls, so I think we can kind of get them, up and off the field. I really want to see some three and outs. I want to see them keeping the Ravens deep in their own territory. And for another reason is because we know they have Justin Tucker over there, but he's a little bit on the older
Mm-hmm.
side. So if we can kind of get them outside the
Mm-hmm.
50-yard line, outside of 50 plus for Justin Tucker, even them trying to
Mm-hmm.
kick a late, maybe a late game field goal, try to tie it up, or even just a late game before the second half, we can kind of knock them out of field goal position because Tucker is kind of, just no disrespect, but he's kind of lost a step. So some of his longer field goals are really kind of out of there now.
Oh, yeah. I hope y'all listening. We
Yeah, I
giving
mean,
we
yeah,
giving y'all stuff that you ain't hearing nobody else. Like Mickey's giving y'all a full scouting report on the Ravens. So keep
exactly,
going, sis. You
exactly.
you cooking. Keep going.
Another thing, as far as their offense, I mean, their penalties. Just this past week, they had 11 penalties for over 100 yards, or I think almost 200 yards. If I'm not mistaken,
Oh
I think
gosh.
maybe 100. I think at least 150 yards as far as penalties. I think in week one, I think we had
Golly.
6 or 7 penalties. So they are definitely a penalty prone team. Specifically, their O line. I mean, I think we see number 79. I think his last name is Sanders. I know in the first week, I don't know if they're making an example out of him or they were just trying to make an example for the league. We saw a lot of illegal formations, from that particular guy, but we saw some holdings as well. And we know we just see mistakes sometimes from his offense in particular. I don't see too many penalties on the defensive side for the Ravens as far as that, but definitely, their O
Yeah.
line and just mistakes, here and there. You know what I'm saying? We like to see
Mm-hmm.
that we do see them go for the deep plays, but sometimes they are called back, due to those penalties, and sometimes
Because of those
sometimes
penalties.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, we can see some of that they are able to move the ball downfield, but I think we just kind of like I said, just kind of getting there, well, getting Lamar's head a little bit, just kind of, if we can just kind of bring some of that pressure that we were kind of bringing in week one. Granted, it wasn't the greatest pressure in the world. I mean, we even saw in training camp that they weren't bringing the greatest pressure, but if we could just
Right.
just a little bit, just like I said, just even if they're in those third and medium situations, or even second and medium, if we can just kind of push them back a little bit in their own territory. Derrick Henry, I know we're kind of going through this, but Derrick Henry likes to start deep behind the line of scrimmage, about 7 yards back. So if we get, like I said, if the linebackers aren't afraid to come up and hit, if we could just kind of disrupt him before he reaches the line of scrimmage, or even just have him,
Right. Because
one to
that's
two
what it
yard
is.
gains. You know what
Derrick
I'm saying?
Henry,
We can stop
exactly.
them.
Derrick Henry has that long speed. So you gotta meet Derrick Henry in the hole.
Yes.
You don't want it to where you're waiting on tackles because see that's when he runs you over. He'll start getting going. And once Derrick Henry gets going, bro,
Facts. Facts.
like once that
And
man gets going, it's no stopping him
right,
almost.
and
Like
shout to Big Game James, because he made a point yesterday in the final word that he more so gets going in the second half. So that's why I said it's important to
right.
kind of stop him, in the first, more so in the first half, and Justice Hill as well. We can't just, Cowboys Nation, we can't sit here and say, oh, it's Henry and Lamar, it's Henry and Lamar. Justice Hill is there, as I
Is
put
a
here, their
big
escape
part.
artist.
Is a
Yes,
big part.
not necessarily in the run game, but he loves to take passes out the backfield. And I think it was week one, he had 5 catches for almost 50 yards. So we definitely have to keep an eye on
Oh
him. He's
wow.
definitely, yeah. So he's definitely their escape artist. Like I said, if they are in those second medium situations, or even third and medium, I
Hmm.
wouldn't be surprised if they go out to him in the flats, because he can definitely get more than 4 or 5 yards. Like you said, if they leave anything open, like he can be gone. He can be gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, and this is some other things to look out for. I mean, we know Derrick Henry likes to do, the Wildcat every now and then. I think we saw him do the Wildcat last week against the Raiders, and it was successful. So just the biggest thing, keep them out the red zone, keep them, like I said earlier, keep them really at the 50, not even past that, because we know they have Tucker over there who can kick a field goal and keep them in the game. So just these things we have
Yeah.
to look at. I know we have time to go through everything today, but it's just these Ravens aren't, and I'm not saying they're not going to be a juggernaut. I'm not saying, because they are coming in 0-2. Not, I'm saying, not saying. And one last thing about the defense, I brought this up the Star while we were off camera, but Humphrey and Stevens. And actually, Stevens was actually the most targeted cornerback last season in the NFL. So, and
They're
he
not
was
good.
he was good for the most part, but really, these past two games, over 200 plus yards passing for Mahomes and a Gardner Minshew, y'all. So, I mean, come on now. I think we have a Dak Prescott, so I'm sure he can dot up the secondary. And don't forget about Kyle Hamilton. He can come down and lay a hit, but I think, like I
Yeah.
said, if we can kind of dot up this secondary, and
You can attack these
yes,
corners, because
yes,
these corners aren't very good.
right. They leave a
Let's be
lot of
like
open. Yeah, they leave a lot of
right,
open area.
slow, kind of stiff for sure. Like Humphrey, they have brain farts. Now I'm sure these
Yeah,
guys are gonna be on P's and Q's when they play us, like every team,
yeah,
but they can only do so much. Like Stevens, you're a jag. Marlon Humphrey,
yeah.
I think you still got, he used to be one of the better corners in the league, but he's clearly regressed. You know what I'm saying? He's
Yes,
clearly
yes,
regressed.
Star.
So you can also you can get at them. It's all about
Facts.
turning up. You got to turn up against these guys though. But I appreciate. I like how you spoke about that, sis. With these guys, like how can I attack these guys?
Yeah,
Go ahead, because I think the Ravens actually have the number one rushing defense.
yeah, and I'm glad you pointed out, Star, because I said this is Star before we jumped on here. The Raiders in their last, I think in their, well, I guess I'll say second to last, when they were able to tie up the game to the Ravens, they had no rushes. No rushes, Cowboy Nation. They had all passes on their, I'll say second to last, final drive against the Ravens to be able to tie up that game and then eventually come back and win. So I think, like I said, I think the method of attacking this game can be in their secondary. And like I said, we have Dak Prescott, if these receivers, and hell, even these tight ends, if they can get down the field, or even, like I said, some of these dump off situations, if they just stay on point with their game and convert these first downs, what I'm saying, that's going to be the main thing, converting even second down. Don't even get to, hopefully we can't, you don't have to get the third and long situation. Hopefully, even if we can stick, for us, as far as the Cowboys offense can stick to, third and shorts, and just convert these first downs. That's going to be important. I think that's how we can kind of keep their defense on the field longer, and then, like I said, also kind of cut up the secondary and get down the field. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the main way that we'll be able to attack this defense.
Awesome. Did y'all hear what she said? So she gave y'all a full report. Also, something I would like to point out too, with Roquan,
Yes.
attack him with CD, bro. He cannot cover. And I forgot who said it, but they said the Ravens are very stubborn and they keep Roquan in coverage. So they're gonna keep Roquan in coverage, and they think he's gonna be covering CD Lamb and Brandon Cooks. By all means, please do that.
Right.
Did you see any? So did the Raiders run the ball much or not really?
Not really a lot. Like, I think I still have just real quick, I think I still have the window up from the numbers from last week's game, because they're inside guys, Michael Pierce and Adabuke. Anamdi Adabuke. Yeah.
Justin Matabuke is crazy.
Yeah. He actually had the highest amount of sacks amongst DTs last season.
He went crazy. He had a breakout year. It was like 14.
Oh my God. Raiders had 27 yards of rushing last week.
What?
The run
26. Let me look at the Chiefs.
27 yards.
Yeah.
27 yards.
Damn. They limited the Chiefs 72. Isaiah only had 15 carries for 45 yards. Damn. So this probably not going to be a game. This probably not going to be a game to get our running game.
Right. It's not. I mean, and I guess I just wanted to kind of put a disclaimer out there, like, not just that we shouldn't be worried, because we definitely do still have to establish a run game, but and that's just our schedule, y'all. I mean, we see these teams we have up front, like we just have a stout schedule. We have these stout defensive lines who it just may be a problem until later in the season to really be able to get these guys going with a chemistry. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Good night, James, and thank you guys for. And we are actually about to close out here shortly. Thank you everybody for joining us. But yeah, I just think with, like I said, with these guys, and they do have Nnamdi Adebuke. Excuse me. I hope I'm saying that right. And Michael Pierce. Like I said, Adebuke led the league or led DTs in sacks last season. I believe they had 13, 14 sacks. So these guys in the middle are their defensive line is stat. And also, don't want to forget Odafe Owe. I think he had some sacks last week too against Gardner Minshew. So we definitely have to keep an eye on their front four at least. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be pass pro is going to be important this week. You know, for the running back stepping up to do that. Tight ends as well, but hopefully, you know, on I guess on the other side of the coin, hopefully tight ends can kind of step up. Brevin Spann hopefully. I mean, I don't know if they're going to play Jake this week. Let's say they're gonna, you know, kind of have him come along and practice. I don't want them to rush him.
I would like them to play Fant because I feel like Fant can give us a more physicality than Brevin Spann. Because if this Brevin Spann Spearman is just seeming like it's not.
Yeah, I mean,
I need to be patient. I do need to be patient, but it's just seeming like he don't know what's going on out there. I don't know. I don't know if he don't know the plays or what, but it's like. You're on the field a lot, big dog, and
not really. I had to say not to be doing anything, but also at the same time, like I want McCarthy to start going to him to kind of get his, you know,
like try to start scheming him up.
Yeah, just get him kind of involved a little bit, and even if
I feel that,
I don't want you, you know what I'm saying, I don't want you going to our literally, and not that undrafted is a slight, but an undrafted rookie on the 4th and 4. Converting, I mean, come on, and they're tightly covered. I don't want you going to him because then everyone's looking at it. Why are you going to the rookie? And it's
exactly that wasn't a good play call, and that should have been Luke Schoonmaker because Luke would have caught that.
Facts.
It just wasn't it's like don't put him in that position. He was just on the field. I think Brevin Spann you need to kind of wean him. Like he was just on the field way too much. Like he already earned starting reps. And it's like no, sir.
Yeah, like come on.
Hopefully they're making the proper evaluations and but anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean
I hope y'all like the show. Yeah. I feel like we did something, you know, different. Mickey did her scouting report. Hopefully maybe we can, you know, keep this going. You know,
I like this. I love this dynamic since like you said, like if we find a way, like you said, kind of cut it down. I know we, like you said, doing something different. And we definitely drop. Like I said, I said before we jumped out here that we were going to be dropping jewels this show, and you know, me and Star both said it was going to be a fire show. So we really appreciate everybody.
We did something different. You know, did a film breakdown of the run. I showed y'all damn near every single run. So, you know, when you talk about, scheme this and scheme that, bro, this is just, it really is just execution and the backs not being patient, guys, because I showed y'all 2 to 3 plays where it's like, bro, if you just follow your blocks, that's a touchdown, bro. Like, so, and then nobody would be saying we're the worst running back room in the league and blah, 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 all that stuff. So, you know, this week I would say what the running game is, we just want to try to be as efficient as possible, as we can. We definitely gonna have to try to run the ball because, but according to Mickey, these Ravens can be had. You know what I'm saying? They can be had. Period.
They're definitely a tough
in the
line.
air. They can be had. You know. Now when it comes to
to your point, Star, I mean, cut you off. But to your point, I do want to see them come out and be consistent. Like you said, don't just. I think we're talking about it on here about having one back here coming in. Like,
that's not gonna work. We want consistent. If you're gonna give the backs drives, give them drives, not just you get 5 yards here. Now we pull you off the field and you don't come back till 10 minutes later. Your running backs are cold, bruh. Like they got to be able to stay warm. So hopefully the coaches can make that adjustment and help these running backs get into a better flow. I hope that was their focus this week. But appreciate everybody for rocking with us tonight. You guys were awesome. We really appreciate y'all. Please donate to our Cash Apps there on the screen. Please like the content. Please share the content. Please subscribe. Enter into my Stargazer sweepstakes that I'm doing. I'm at 291 subscribers. I'm keeping this going till 300, so I only need 9 more subscribers. So y'all just help me out, please. Really would appreciate it.
Yeah. Like Star said, thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure you guys keep your notifications on. Of course, we'll be back next week. Talk about this dub that we about to get against the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this it's not a
We can
juggernaut,
get it. We
y'all.
can get. Mickey
Right.
made me feel better because
Right.
first I was a little bit scared, but I was like, like you can beat you. You just gotta when you facing a bully. You know what I'm saying? And I was a kid. People tried to bully me, but when you stand up to the bully and you let them know I'm not gonna be bullied.
Right.
Then they'll back off. But if somebody knows they can make you cry, they can bitch you out, then that's how they're gonna continue. So if this team, I want them in their face every single play, letting them know I'm not even this close to being scared of you.
Exactly. Like my girl said, she said she wants that energy from the playoff game 2022 starting fights. Hey, you knocking over the kicker stand? Okay, we got you. You know what I'm saying? You coming over into our territory.
I need to see anger on the field, bro. I need to see anger. I need to see. They need to know. I don't care what the results of this game is. You're not gonna bully us.
Right.
You're not gonna bully me. Period.
So
you have to, only way you get bullies off your back is when you stand up to them and let them know I'm not no bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
kick them out. Kick them out your house. Right. I mean,
exactly.
Go ahead, come back and defend your house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, go ahead and get that once again the bad taste out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Go back and reclaim your home. You know what I'm saying? Don't let anybody else.
One more thing I want to say too. I'm looking at the Saints game versus the Panthers. They did not score touchdowns on every drive. So
yeah, that
and we have and we have better talent. So that's what I'm saying. It's the will. It's not the talent. It's not the talent.
Right.
Oh, I did have something. Let me show y'all this run real fast. I did cue it back.
No, you good. Yeah, let me see.
And then we can end on this. Sorry, this was a long ass show, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. Hold on, let me see. Because I was like, I want to queue up this run so I can show y'all what I'm. Because y'all ain't gonna go look at it. Okay, yeah, I got it here. Okay, so let me show y'all. This is the run where we're gonna pull the Tylers. Y'all see how we pulled the Tylers? We're gonna get the better view of it. Yeah, they're gonna show the different view. Y'all see that? I think we need to do way more of that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, get the Tylers coming at these guys as lead blockers full force.
Yeah.
I see the vision completely. And we only did this one time. We literally only ran it one time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like something like that. Like, and I'm surprised.
And we want to keep running it. Like, this is what we need to get in the flow. Keep running it. But like,
because that's really what the Ravens. That's really another point I had. Because they love to do that. They love running to the left. Like they love running to the left with their
exactly.
They love pulling to the left. So
I definitely think that is something where we definitely need to pull that out. Even Rico here, like Rico could have had better vision here, Rico, because Tyler Smith gets to his person on the edge, and you could just go like, why you cut inside, Rico?
Yeah,
bounce that out, Rico. Rico's vision kind of suck. I ain't gonna lie. His vision
do. The more you look at this, it's just like, bro,
it's nothing but. I'm getting mad. It's nothing but green grass out there, bro.
Bro, like nobody outside the numbers. Nobody outside the numbers.
Okay, anyway, let me. Okay, we need to get off of here, but
no, I definitely feel you. Cause it's like,
Rico vision suck, dog. I'm gonna have to put that on Twitter. His vision is terrible. I'm sorry. I said we have a strong stable of backs, but Rico vision is awful, bro. It's awful, bro. Like he get too many carries. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
For your vision to
be, he get this more involved, like because he has like his vision, like you said, he can dance, like not just dance, but he can make them moves to be able to get to
right. Dude's vision is better. I think he was a little bit jittery, but I think he was trying to he just needed to get in rhythm. But Rico, bro, you missing way. You talking about we need to stop cutting back early, bro. You need to stop cutting back early, dog, because we got you on this. We got you on this film session. But anyway, all
No,
right.
I feel like not, and I don't be really comparing. I don't be comparing Deuce to Turpin, but when I say that, it's just like how Turpin had to get worked into the game. Like Deuce has to get worked into those offensive
Right,
snaps.
he had to get exactly. He got to
Right.
get working. He got to get a feel. But Rico, bro,
yeah, you got the
Rico
feel, bro. You
terrible.
just need the vision, bro.
He don't got them, bro. Like he don't have it. That's why we struggle with Tony Pollard. They don't have that vision, bro. Like, and that's the difference between any old back can do it and having really good backs. They need to. I think we need to stick with not Rico, Zeke, Zeke, Deuce, and go ahead and elevate Dalvin. I know everybody love Rico, bro, but he not good, and he the same. He's kind of the same back as Zeke. Yeah. What the hell do we need him for?
Yeah. Especially when Zeke has come in and shown that he still has it, even a little bit more snap.
Right, Zeke has the vision. He just knows how to be patient, bro.
Yeah,
like Rico, what's going on? But anyway, y'all have a good night.
We appreciate everybody coming through. Keep your notifications on. Catch us next week, guys, after the dub, and we'll see you guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you.